But yeah, so that was kind of the start of it. That's actually pretty interesting. Yeah, again, there's this like older lineage than you even realize there is with the way that these kind of things intertwine, like, you know. So yeah, that was it. You did the Invasion one poster.
We did the Invasion, and that was before, like, I'd been to one Scratch Games at that point, but I didn't know it as a Scratch Games because our friend Mike, who brought me to the Street Fighter tournament, had called it Jimmy's Thing. So we were going to go to Jimmy's Thing in the beer house at about 10 or 11 on the Saturday, and then we got there. It's like, Jimmy's Thing is fucking huge. What is happening?
We can't get in the door.
Because we knew you were a DJ, but I didn't know anything about your career at all. I was like, oh yeah, Jimmy's runs a Street Fighter tournament, is a DJ. Never did these two facts show me. Jimmy's a DJ in Ireland. I don't know how successful he is, but people seem to know his name. It's pretty cool. And then we show up, but I don't know if people are familiar with the beer house, but it's not the smallest bar in the world, but it is packed out the door. Like, you can't get in. So we couldn't go to Jimmy's Thing. And then when we were like, oh, well, we can hang around until people clear off a bit. And then we got in way after it was over. It was like, I guess Jimmy's Thing was wildly successful. Everyone here is wrecked. It was sick. So next year, I was like, I got to go to Jimmy's Thing, and then slowly found out about the Scratch Games and what was happening. I think I went to at least one or 2 year gigs before the Scratch Games came around again.
So the interesting thing about that, the first time you guys successfully showed up, that was the first time I won the freestyle.
Ah, nice.
So the big deal for me was like, my boys are here from the Street Fighter scene. I gotta fucking prove this shit to them that I'm the fucking best of this shit. So that was when I went on my run where I won 2 in a row, and I was done. I was like completely content at that point. I was like, I proved it. I was like, I've done this thing. And then Andy, the third year, was like, "You going for the triple, Jimmy?" And I was like, I had no intention, but when he called me out, and I was like, all right, go on. And we don't have to go into details about what happened in that battle, but I certainly didn't win it. Yeah, that's super interesting. Yeah, because I couldn't figure out, because I knew you longer then. By the time, my memory is like of winning that battle and you guys being there, but I knew you guys longer at that point. So I was like, how come they weren't there? So that's funny that the previous year you guys basically couldn't even make it into the event.
Yeah, it was classic. Jesus Christ. It's the big day of the Scratch Games, and we thought we could just rock up, but we had no idea. It's like we had no idea about the size of the event or anything versus the size of the beer house, and how it's definitely too big.
And at that time it was basically it was 10 years at that point, so it was like kind of like 10-year anniversary kind of time as well. So it had kind of grown a bit of legs at that time, and it had gotten quite big, like, you know, like it's always big, but it's had low years where like you could walk in anytime on a Sunday, like, you know, whereas there's been other times where you just, unless you get there early, you're not getting in. So yeah, that's interesting.
So that was my intro to what the Scratch Games was, and then the next year I came and was like, oh, Jimmy organizes, Jimmy won. Classic fix, not realizing it had been run for 10 years where that hadn't happened before.
Yeah.
It was like classic corruption.